Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Victor Fries, and I will be your announcer for the evening. The Clock King, unfortunately, was not on time. Rose City Comic-Con has asked that I would take over. Now, I know what you are potentially thinking. How can someone whose emotions are frozen inside generate the enthusiasm needed for a costume show such as this? Well, not only have the Arkham doctors been giving me some incredible medication lately, and it's been doing some pretty wonderful things for my disposition. I even got to join a minor league baseball team. But also, if you had spent all day back in the preliminary judging room, as I did, with all the amazing costumes that you will see tonight, more than 100 that we will push across this stage before the night is through, you would be moved to tears, as I would have been if I had any tears to shed. So, we will have a good time tonight. If I can muster enough enthusiasm to thaw this heart, surely you can raise your hands in jubilant applause when I say, welcome to the 2016 Rose City Costume Contest. I'm going with adequate onto that one, because I believe in you to do so much better when costumes actually appear on this stage and you recognize all the work they've gone into and all of the fortitude it takes to come out in front of 1,000 people. We're going to have a good time. Now, for some of us, cosplay, I even see amongst you, is a hobby. For some of us, it is, as you'll see tonight, a bit of a sport. For some of us who need refrigeration, it is life and death. But for our judges, it is very much a lifestyle. And so I would like to introduce to you tonight the judges who will be weighing in on the finalists and where we're at after a long day of preliminary work and now the final judging. We're going to bring out our three judges this evening who are no strangers to this work. And so first, because we love a little local flavor, let's welcome to the stage Ryan Wells. Ryan's a local cosplayer who's been plying his trade and being here part of Rose City for the last 3 years. So it's a pleasure to have you here tonight. And I have also had the privilege to work the last 4 years with a spectacular cosplayer who's come in to join us this evening. Let's put our hands together for Anna Mia. And due to some conflicts, we had to scramble and find for you tonight a mystery judge. You know, let's just give him a hand. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Come on out. I believe he ran all the way from his hotel just to make it here to participate tonight. I'm not even sure if the hotel was in this state, but we will find out shortly. So, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
I think we have some hot mics there. Why don't you let us know what's going on with you lately? Are you excited about tonight? What's going on?
Oh, I'm ecstatic. My name is Ryan Wells, local cosplayer, cosplay cruises, builder of magicwheelchair.com, or .org, excuse me. And spotlight artist for Stan Winston School for Character Design. So I'm really excited to see some awesome cosplay. I've been seeing a lot of it on the floor, but I know how these things go, so people usually save the best for later that night, which we're about to see tonight, so I'm super stoked.
All right, man, we've worked a bit here and there. How's the con going for you? What are you doing tomorrow? And are you excited for tonight?
Let's see, the con's been great. I love coming back to the Pacific Northwest. I'm originally from Seattle, so always getting a chance to come close to home is is fantastic. Go Seahawks. But no, it's been great, and I've got a booth over in the cosplay area, and I've got a panel tomorrow on cosplay positivity that I'm doing with Ivy Doom Kitty. So come to that one, and no, I'm really excited to see these costumes, you guys. Every year, I'm always amazed by the cosplays that come out here, and I know that these are unbelievable and even better every year. So keep your eyes open.
Awesome. All right. And now, slide that mic over so the mystery can be revealed. Just let us know about why you have come to us running in warm weather in furs, sir.
Oh, well, you see, a Viking is always where he needs to be on time. So when they say come, I run. Hi, I'm Ulfgar Ferguson of Ulfgar Props. And,
Recognize.
And I have been a local to Portland for the last 20 years. And a big fan of the cosplay community out here. And they asked me because I know a lot of you. And I know what to expect to come from you guys. So I look forward to seeing all the costumes that come out tonight.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Go ahead and start getting acquainted with your judge books there. All right. In a few moments, our contestants will be coming out, and it's up to you guys to make sure they don't receive a chilly reception. So has anyone seen the movie Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy? It's a very dry, British, stolid, emotional film, the kind that I personally enjoy. But tonight, those terms actually describe, in many ways, our contest categories. We have tinkers, those who have done various forms of work in mechanics, machinery, moving parts, electronics, lights, those types of things. Our tailors, with an emphasis in seamstress work, other sorts of sewing, stitching, all the components that put almost every basic costume together. Then we have our soldiers, those who worked with Warbler, EVA foam, other things, armor, that type of category. And then we actually, of course, have our youth category. And so we'll see some of our young, aspiring cosplay contestants coming out here in just a minute. Now, we'll determine how it's going to work tonight. We're going to determine our category runner-up and our winner. Runners-up, just for being runners-up, even if they aren't winner of the category, will take home $100 tonight. Our winners will take home $200 tonight. And our best in show out of the finalists in each category will take home an additional $1,000. Jesus. And so we'll be having a lot of fun. We'll determine those category runner-ups and winners, and then out of the 5 category winners, we'll award that best in show. And you know what? Why don't we just get started? We had so many people in the tailor category that we had to break it into 2 categories. Those with an emphasis and a little less accoutrement beyond the seamstress work, and then those, we've divided them into 2 categories, so we're going to get going. Judges ready?
Yes, sir.
We're good.
Is our audience ready?
Yep.
Are we ready back there? All right. Now, some contestants are a little timid. Others know exactly what to do. Others are so big they might fall off stage. So I think we need another one of the Gotham minor leaguers to join me. So Miss Kyle, would you please come out and help with our contestants this evening? Thank you. Without further ado, I would like to invite our first Taylor category contestant, Delia Van Dyke, as Miss Peregrine from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. She loved the series, started acquiring materials, vintage shoes, dyed the jacket, altered from a vintage pattern, all sorts of wonderful accoutrements to go with that. Thank you very much for taking the stage as our first Always Tough. Thank you, Miss Peregrine. Next up, we have Marilyn Weatherly as Cassandra, a werewolf from In the Company of Wolves. This is the main character from her webcomic. handmade coat with hand-embroidered wolf sigil, handmade shirt, pants, and hand braces. Took about a month to complete, and her first ever cosplay. Give her a hand. Next up, we have Thomas Martin as Bastion, also from In the Company of Wolves. He's man enough to admit that this was made in conjunction with his girlfriend, character from her original webcomic as well, and work on the jacket took several weeks. Let's give him a hand. And now, contestant number, they all receive numbers just like runners in a race. Number 6, Janice Angel, take the stage as Rey from Star Wars The Force Awakens. The belt and wristband is out of genuine leather and antique stain. The staff alone took 24 man-hours. Altogether, the cosplay took 172 hours to complete. Like many of us, she loves Rey because she's a strong, independent character, so let's give her some applause. All right. Next, Michael Lyons is going to show us the first in a series of some video game fun. Let's have Luigi come out and join us from Nintendo Mario Brothers. He sewed and modified it. The hat's from scratch. The hat is from scratch. And we were looking at some obviously stretchy four-way stretch pleather in these costumes, just to give it that pliable nature of someone who has to jump around, get a lot of tokens, hit a few mushrooms. Thank you, Luigi. Before he even finishes and gets off stage, let's let Mario start his run. Josh Logan bringing us his outfit. Contestant number 9 made his hammer out of 2 5-gallon frosting buckets. That's pretty sweet. Duct tape, spray paint, wood, and hose clamps. The buttons are magneted as with previous costume by four-way stretch pleather. So thanks, man, for showing off a little Mario. And next, we have a princess, though some of you may forget that Wonder Woman herself is a princess. Abby Sollers has reimagined the DC Comics heroine. Contestant number 10, loving the idea that she's the princess of the Amazons. She wanted to reimagine her in a ball gown. Over 300 stars were individually applied on the skirt, train, and the bustle. Petticoat was also handmade, and the cuffs and tiara were made from warbler. Keeping in the princess theme, let's have Cinderella join us. Jill Massinger is going to show off a favorite from Disney's classic animated feature. Modified the wig into a French twist, hoop skirts and petticoats, 150 to 200 yards of fabric, and make sure to show off those shoes. Cinderella is nothing without her shoes. Thank you very much. And because the Mouse House because Mickey's won't stay hidden, Belle's going to join us. Mama Samu would like to bring us her interpretation of Belle from Disney's Beauty and the Beast, an original design and a dream come true with beading, embroidery, about 150 endless hours of work, making the gloves, hand stitching, 7 layers of petticoat, hand-tacked pickup, cast painted and bejeweled cameos that she cast and painted on the outfit as well. Let's give it up for Belle. All right. And now it looks as if Poe has been losing a little weight. Poe from Kung Fu Panda 3, as portrayed by Linda Locke. All that martial arts work and apparently not enough food has led to a slightly lighter Poe showing off the staff. The costume is 100% hand-stitched and pieces of the hat made from poster board. Took her about 10 hours to make. Give it up for Linda Locke. All right. Next we have, wow, Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender hardly needs an introduction. Maggie McGinnis bringing us her rendition. Piece by piece, she put this together. And by the way, that bun is her actual hair, not a wig. Many tend to utilize textureless fabrics, but she wanted to add a touch of uniqueness to the character. Maggie McGinnis bringing her Toph from The Last Airbender. And now we're going to bring forward Taylor Simpson. Taylor, come out and show us what you have. Lady Amalthea from The Last Unicorn. She's friend and founder of Ginger Armadillo Cosplay. Taylor put this together from a few pieces of old prom skirt, dress recycled, altered, and dyed for the overskirt and bodice. Everything else was constructed and embellished. Shoulder alterations as well, just to get some nice, beautiful gem effects. Let's give it up for Taylor and her creation for us this evening. All right. Now, here we go. Let's welcome Annie Barton to the stage. Yaona from Sayuki. This is the first costume she made by herself. The bow was tricky. She didn't want it to droop. Used 2 fairy wings to hold the bow up and wrap the fabric around it. Boot covers were made, fun to do. Had to modify a pattern because she wanted to use Velcro instead of a zipper. First time she used stretchy material and silky material at all, and the material proved to be a challenge, but she learned a lot. Let's give her a hand. Annie Barton is Yaone from Suzuki. All right. And now, if you would welcome Heather Rubb to the stage. Her original character, Celestine Vex. Heather's suit was handmade. Dress took 7 months and about 150 hours. The skirts hand-painted based on a longtime fantasy character of her own design, of her own making, of her own dreaming, perhaps. As you can see, many articulate pieces, everything made by her except for the shoes and the small amounts of jewelry that you see. Let's give it up for Heather and her creation, Celestine Vex. All right. As Joy takes the stage, let's go ahead and I think we should give applause, but maybe moderate, just because baby might be sleeping. Oh no, baby's awake. Go ahead and give it up. Joy Knight Richards, Mad Madam Mim and Sparrow author from Disney's Sword in the Stone. She needed an easy cosplay for running around with a baby. Dress made out of wool, tablecloth material, the undershirt from a long sleeve t-shirt. Oh. Bloomers made with lace. All made except the socks and shoes. Let's give it up once more for Joy Knight. It's Mad Madam Mim. All right, who do we have next? We have Gary Sudlett III as Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, of course. Character he sees a lot of himself in. He spent a lot of time on the sewing machine. The outer robe took 2 hours alone. For a first-timer, mind you. He spent about 26 hours working on this costume. Wore it to the movies last year and got stopped for pictures and compliments. So let's make sure he gets a few more tonight. Put our hands together for Gary, Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, next we have Stephanie Byers as Jirachi from Pokemon. Costume completely made by her, besides the shoes and the wig. She's Pokemon that grants wishes, so she fashioned it after a genie, sewed the pants, created the patterns for all the pieces. Let's give it up for Stephanie and her Pokemon creation, Jirachi. Next we have Josiah Foster coming to the stage as a Foot Clan soldier from everybody's favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Took hours and hours of cutting and sewing, some experimenting with molding and wrapping. In fact, he stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning of the convention getting these final details together. So since he's probably a little sleepy, let's clap extra loud just to wake him up. Thank you. Danielle DeMartini is going to model Elizabeth DeWitt for us from BioShock Infinite. Someone with a strong connection with the character, she decided to hand make this from scratch. First the corset, double layer, each black strip hand sewn, steel bones, all made in about a month. Handcrafted patterns, hand tacked and hand stitched corset, her patterns, and it's very hard to move in that thing. So let's make sure to give her extra applause for Danielle DeMartini as Elizabeth DeWitt. Casey Fristow as Dead Grantaire from Les Miserables. She pieced this together, some pieces from Goodwill and other places, handmade cravat and the flag, of course, waving proudly. Let's hear it for the dead. Dead but not forgotten, Casey Fristow. And now, I don't think it's bias to say this costume is fantastic. Zach Jackman,
Like his arm.
he stretched himself to make this spandex costume, started sewing. Now, he did have some help, he admits, from a loving significant other. Hair and makeup also done by her, but let's give it up for Mr. Fantastic, Zach Jackman. Followed by the Human Torch and the creator behind these fantastic costumes, Lindsay Moore. Bringing us the classic Fantastic Four comics, with a twist perhaps, version of the Human Torch. Bought the fabric Monday, sewing machine troubles, but plowed right through it. And this is her first time ever working with spandex. Also did the hair and makeup herself, so let's give her a round of applause. Oh wait, you're not the invisible girl, don't disappear that way. I guess she's playing two roles this evening. So, there we go. Elsie, come on out. Elise, there she is. Was blinded by the Human Torch. Cora, go ahead and give us some walk down the line, hits your points. Elise Cottles put this together, molded the pieces, adding and creating those gauntlets. I think she has, so there we go. Has a small demonstration for us. Excellent creative control, none of the judges being hit. We were a little worried. She has these bending tools for her elements, but she's in complete control. Give us a few more as we give some final applause for Elise is Cora from Legend of Korra. Next we have Kelsey Hutchinson. Come on out. Asajj Ventress from Star Wars The Clone Wars. Make sure we see those wraps that you've done for us. Now, truth be told, she's bound up 4 feet of hair to make this creation for us. Her actual hair completely buried under that costume, as well as all the intertwining of all of those wraps. Each wrap, one piece sewn into the proper form and airbrushed with hand-sewn belts. It takes her roughly 5 to 6 hours just to get into this, getting the 4 feet of hair under the scalp and all those wraps around not only torso and arms, but leggings as well. So let's give it up for Kelsey Hutchinson as Asajj Ventress. Next we have Misty Ring as Coronation Anna from Disney's Frozen. That's right. Some might focus on Elsa. We like to focus on Anna this evening. Costume took her about 2 weeks as she remade the corset. 4 days before the con, had to do some hand painting. Took 10 hours for each panel. This cosplay, she also wanted to mention, also has bloomers, as well as her corset and other features. So give it up one more time for Misty as Coronation Anna. And we're getting down to the end of our first category. Welcome Mia Sires to the stage as Vault Boy Pinup Girl from Fallout 4. Unique creation designed 100% by Mia. The jacket was patterned using an original uncut women's army jacket pattern from 1944. The entire character adapted from, of course, Fallout's Vault Boy, referencing both the era and the game. Era-accurate patterns, sewing opposite colors, doing up the wig and the styling, and having to weave in extra panels. She put in a lot of work, so let's give it up for her second costume she's ever sewn. All right. And now, I know part of you, for one reason, will want to boo, but let's make sure that we cheer for Professor Dolores Umbridge by Kat Huerta. Both evil to the core, but pretty in pink, she altered this pattern of her grandmother's for the dress, created all the jewelry, and yes, this is her own hair. The costume took about 75 hours. She started in February, having to make the brooches and also dye the shawl. Let's give it up carefully for Dolores Umbridge. Just don't break any rules. All right. And that is the end of our first category of tailors. Let's give it up for all of them. All right, guys. All right, guys. This time it's time to announce those finalists. So we're going to bring up those who, after some painstaking conversations and preliminary work, we're going to say who's going to make the finalists cut, and we're going to bring our finalists back up for a second look by the judges. They're going to need some new cheers as we do that too. Let's start with number 6, Janice Angel as Ray. Followed by Abby Sollers, Princess Wonder Woman, number 10. Followed by number 16, Samantha as Belle. Number 18, Maggie McGinnis as Toph from The Last Airbender. Heather as Celestine Vex. Danielle DeMartini as Elizabeth DeWitt from BioShock Infinite. All right, let's not miss anybody here. All this hard work. Kelsey as Asajj Ventress. Let's bring up number 45. Misty Ring as Coronation Anna. Number 47. Number 49, Vault Boy Pinup. And number 52, Dolores Umbridge, Kat Huerta. All right. Now they're going to make their way to the stage. I'm going to ask everybody on the finalist line, except for Ray here, go ahead and turn and face the judges, just so that they can take a look. They've seen the front, they've seen the back. Let's give them a look at this. So, how many hours did it take to make the costume again? What do you think?
About 172, I think.
172 hours. Many of you in this room have not put that much effort into anything. I'm not saying which ones, just some of you. Okay, 10%. You know who you are. All right, why don't you go ahead and take Wonder Woman's place? Let's have you do a long circle. Join around there. There we go. All right, so would you like to see Wonder Woman at some point in the movie change into this in the movie that's coming up?
I want to see her battle.
And
All right, but there could be one ballroom scene, right? The rest in the battle suit.
That's so good.
Here's hoping. All right. You look great. Thank you. All right, we're going to give you a few more minutes with our judges. Let's see who we want to bug here. They just need a few minutes. All right. Let me ask you a question. Were you afraid that people would be upset about the character and maybe not give you the love like they did for dressing as Umbridge?
No.
No, you just utmost confidence.
Even the love is hate, or it's the other way around. Even the hate is love. So I just really enjoyed all the worm fuzzies, even if they were, oh my God, I hate you.
Let's give it up for the hate.
Oh my God.
All right, finalists.
Dedication.
All right, judges. I'm afraid I'm going to have to call it.
Oh boy.
You've seen some things. We're going to have to move this along, but let's have you turn around. We're actually going to take you back, and we're going to have you wait, and the judges will deliberate later. So let's give them one final round of applause for our first category, the Taylors. Thank you so much. None of you would want the weight on you that's hanging over these three right here, right now, because they don't even have hardly a chance to blink before we've moved on to our next category of Taylors, which we're going to do now. And so now we'll roll through some of their tag numbers and their names and their characters and let you see some more amazing Taylor costumes. Are we ready to roll? What the? No, I mean literally, what the is our first character. Gerard Walker, give it up for his own character. What the?
What the?
Gerard made this from two-way and four-way nylon spandex. Learning to work with different kinds of materials, the weapon props are made for him by cardboard. You know, you'd hardly know it. They look pretty formidable. Leggings and strap top are made from nylon spandex. The bag made from vinyl fabric. He picked this character because it is his inner self, so he's sharing it with you whether you like it or not. Took him a week to construct. Give it up for Gerard Walker. All right. Thanks, man. Next up, we have number 5, Peter Schneider, the Dark Brotherhood Assassin from Elder Scrolls vs. Skyrim. Now, admittedly, Peter had a little help from Willie Schneider, probably a relation, but together they put together this costume on a $250 budget, using a black cat suit, then red faux suede cut, working with all sorts of different details to create this Society of Assassins character that took about 80 to 100 hours to make. Give it up for Peter Schneider, the Dark Brotherhood Assassin. And now we have contestant number 7, Amanda Wan, as Donna Troy, Queen of the Amazons. Based on the design by David Finch, Donna Troy, this costume was created as her perfect Amazon queen. The costume was sewn from spandex and stretched pleather. All the rivets were actually all these rivets that you see are hand-painted googly eyes. She's molding Warbler over the bottom of a can of Diet Coke to achieve some of those gauntlet effects that you see. The sword carved from a sheet of blue insulation foam and coated with layers of aqua resin for durability. Let's give it up for Amanda Wan as Donna Troy, Queen of the Amazons. Next up, we have Hallie Peppercorn as Princess Kita. We're just going to say Princess Kita from Disney's Atlantis. Nobody can pronounce her name in the movie anyway. Hand-styled wig and a handmade elements because Mother Nature didn't help her with these 80 hours of work, 14 layers of Mod Podge, and one embarrassing trip to Home Depot. She's proud to bring this underrated character to life. Let's give it up for Princess Kita from Disney's Atlantis. Next we have Hallie Wright, specifically as Hoth X-Wing pilot Leia from her version of Star Wars. She's done Dagobah Leia and reimagined the first Jedi to be Luke versus Leia, and now she's been able to give us her version of Leia as the X-Wing pilot, wearing her Hoth boots, of course, and ready to go into action. Maybe there's some people lost in the snow. Who knows? She's got to go find them, so give it up for Haley Wright. Haley Wright as Hoth X-Wing pilot Leia. Sean Derrickson's going to give us a little bit of Spawn this evening. Thanks to a bed sheet, some shoulder pads from Goodwill, some trips to Joann Fabrics, and working with some chains and involving some wires, he's able to put together this rather hellish costume. And so let's thank Sean for all the work he did putting together Spawn for us this evening for our viewing pleasure. And let's pray he's not going to use any of his limited power on us. Thanks, Spawn. And now, joining Spawn is Sarah Derrickson, bringing us Angela. Let's welcome Angela from Spawn Comics to the stage. Angela has custom printed ribbons, fabric done ribbons that then she wired herself and put the fabric onto ribbon and wire shapes, altered the shoes, uppers and lowers, together the base corset hand-stitched and the chainmail as well. Vinyl designed with painted accents and of course that wonderfully asymmetrical cape. Let's go ahead and give it up for Angela by Sarah Derrickson. Now Britta Serrata is going to bring us the Lady Sif, everyone. Let's welcome the Lady Sif to the stage. An inspiration for strength, of course. She crafted all the Warbler armor and leather pieces from scratch, a fabric and belt vinyl made from secondhand items found at Goodwill, and of course some Nordic knotwork gems were hand casted with epoxy using cake decor molds. So the costume has survived a few cons walking around, now taking the stage. Let's give it up for Britta as the Lady Sif. And then we'll move right along to Perry Stoltzfus, who's bringing us Zadokis Shadowwalk, an original character. Zadokis is modeling his chain and outfit for us today. All items handcrafted by himself and his partner, Celestine Vex, who we saw earlier. Over 100 hours of work, including the staff and the sword crafted from branches of tree from the backyard, naturally. Where else? Let's give it up for Perry as Zadokis. Thanks, man, for sharing your cosplay with us this evening. And let's welcome Paulette to the stage. Sea Elf Evansor from Flesh of the Blood, put together by her and her husband. This is the new release of a third book of her husband's character, handcrafted. The crown, she handmade the belt that we see. And we've got some, of course, that wonderful turtle shield to go with it. Let's give it up for Paulette as the Sea Elf Evansor. And in light of that, we'll just bring Cassandra Pentagast out from Dragon Age Inquisition. Anna Holmes has put together this great suit for us. Her first costume and con, hand-patterned by her. Wanted to do and represent a powerful character with a silly side, so thank you much for bringing us, Anna, your version of Cassandra. And let's go ahead and welcome Tracy Owens to the stage. Tracy Owens as Nina the Half-Breed from The Secret Saturdays, her own character. Nina has a moving tail. It took her a few days to put this wonderful costume together using her sewing machine and some hot glue in some areas. We won't mention which those are. The fabrics she used were luxury shag, 4-way stretch fabric, satin fabric, elastic, and in fact, she has a fully functional, very nice, fully functional accoutrement, although did you bring enough to share? Man. Well, despite the fact that she didn't bring enough for the rest of the class, let's give it up for Tracy Owens as Nina the Half-Breed. And now let's welcome Angela to the stage. as Dark Emma Swan from Once Upon a Time. She loves the show, one of her favorite characters. She put together the dagger. She may have found some accoutrements at the Dollar Tree, but she's a first-time contestant, handmade the train that she's wearing around, as well as cobbling together the dagger. So let's give it up for Angela, bringing us her Dark Emma from Once Upon a Time. And her fearless cosplay for us this evening. Thank you very much. Let's welcome Chris Roberts to the stage. Link, the hero of time from Legend of Zelda, almost goes without saying. It's been years in the making, adding details at every con. He was able to pick up the shield, 3 layers of modded and sewn together costume, wanting to thrill all of the young aspiring kids growing up to also do cosplay with his handcrafted sword strap. Let's give it up for Chris Roberts bringing us Link. Thank you, man. And Olivia, let's go ahead and have you come to the stage as Vaporeon from Pokemon Indigo League. This is also her first time building a costume from almost scratch based on her own design sketch. No sewing machines, all done by hand over the last few months with a hand-created collar, hand-beaded all the beads that you see on the costume, handcrafting and painting the headband pieces as well. Thank you, Olivia, for sharing Vaporeon with us from Pokemon Indigo League. Let's give her a hand. Emma is sharing Harley Quinn with us this evening. Classic, of course, not from the Suicide Squad movie, but from DC Comics, the original costume. She made all of it with a little help from her best friend. She has been her favorite character since she was 12 and spent about 8 hours on everything and probably a full pound of hot glue, which would probably be part of what's going to be applied to your face if you're on the receiving end. So let's give it up for Emma as Harley Quinn. Next we have John Del Hay as Spider-Man. You are looking at 35 hours of puffy paint over the base costume to get all the various shiny effects. Many more hours in the gym to achieve that move. And in fact, he has some web spinners that he shared for us earlier. And in preliminary judging, we were saturated with silly string. So give it up for Spider-Man by John Del Hay. Next we have Jay Motoyoshi as Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars The Clone Wars. You'll notice the beard in particular with that stiff animated look to it, specifically for that purpose. Costume was made, held by Kelsey Hutchison. Majority of the costume is muslin with linen. And as you notice, they obviously had to style and work on pieces to get that beard effect, as well as other aspects. Functional belt pouches, of course. I think he keeps his credit cards in there. Let's give it up for Jay as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thanks, man. And it's, oh boy, categories winding down, but still getting everyone wound up as Lexi Yaden takes the stage as Megamind. Love the character, so she welded the collar, used craft foam, and hand-painted the suit with puff paint. Loves to play as this evil overlord, as well as also crafting the belt buckle and the collar. Let's give it up for Megamind by Lexi Yaden. And as we reach the end of our category, let's welcome Poe Dameron to the stage. Cameron Christensen, bringing us proof that you can do a budget cosplay costume. He's achieved Poe Dameron to walk around the con for us for under $30. So give it up for Poe Dameron. Thanks, Cameron. All right. And as we are winding down here, we've got another batch of finalists. Everybody's ready to go. Our judges busily scrutinizing those books. We're now going to announce and bring back up on stage all of those who are going to be making the finalist cut this evening. First, let's welcome Amanda Wan as Queen of the Amazons, Donna Troy. Also, although we're still having trouble getting her name right, Princess Kita from Disney's Atlantis. Come on up, Haley. And Haley Wright can come right behind as Hoth X-Wing pilot Leia. Next, number 15, Angela Sarah Derrickson. Let's have you rejoin us on the stage as one of our finalists. Angela from Spawn Comics. Come on up. And Britta, Lady Sif. Let's go ahead and make sure the world of Thor comics is represented in our finalists this evening. Also, Perry, come up and join us as a finalist with your Zadicus costume. All right, quite a number of finalists for our judges to take in. Let's go ahead and have you guys start turning toward our judges just so they can get a look at those fronts and all the work that you've done, front and back. But let's also go ahead and bring up Olivia Pazzi as Vaporeon. All right, that's not all. Harley Quinn, join us back on the stage. Emma. And Lexi Yaden. Megamind. Let's get evil Megamind back up on stage. Now, everybody, even those who aren't joining us back up here as finalists, as you have been hearing this evening, have put together an incredible number of hours just for you in the con to enjoy as they walk around. Let's give it up for all our contestants from this category. All right, let's go ahead and shift down a little bit as they've been taking a look at this half. Let's get the other half in front of our judges here just so they can get some final looks. All right, so I have to know, Leia, so you feel that, why the changing from Luke to Leia? Tell us about that.
Because Leia's awesome and Obi-Wan needs my help.
You think she would have been a little less whiny in the original trilogy than Luke?
Definitely. Brunettes, we've got it going on.
All the brunettes, give it up. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so have you found a Thor to sort of do a duo walk around the con yet?
I have not, but as much as I love Thor, I don't need him.
Lady Sif holds her own indeed. I think we can all cheer that. All right, I think I remember. Harley, what are these? What is the hammer made of?
Okay, so it is a conglomeration of 2 laundry baskets inside of nothing else. And there's mop handles. It's all from the Dollar Tree, except for the craft foam, which I got at Joanne Fabric.
I think what I'm hearing here is Harley don't do laundry. That's what we got. All right. You guys have had time to look. I'm sorry, we got to move on. So let's thank everybody, all finalists, as they head off that way down the stairs. We'll bring them back to award the winners in a little bit. Thanks, guys. Next, we're going to move into the soldier category. So now we're going to see more Warbler, more EVA foam, more garish pieces on the costumes, maybe a little less focus on the sewing, although that doesn't mean that some of these people haven't spent some time and hard sweat behind the sewing machine or hand stitching. So we will move through that as well and see where we're going. As we move into our soldier category, we'll start with the comedian from Watchmen, Josh Quat. Josh K is bringing us the comedian this evening. He has a twisted sense of humor, so this made this kind of fit. Handmade weapons with cardboard, wood, and duct tape. He's always looking for a few laughs, and he may kill you for them, so let's give it up for the comedian. All right, next we have Mickey Garcia as Bastion from Overwatch. Come on out, Bastion. Everyone has been enjoying some Overwatch. She decided she was going to make the robot sexy, so she put together this costume in just a few days and a few extra hours. Her first time constructing armor and painting and using EVA foam. So let's give it up for Mickey Garcia as Bastion from Overwatch. Thanks so much for sharing your cosplay with us. And for walking around the con in those all day. Can you believe? It looks painful. It is painful. Next we have number 3, Rob DeWitt as his own concept Sith Lord. We have a Sith Lord joining us this evening. Or whether it's Dolores Umbridge or a Sith Lord, bad guys seem to get the cheers out of you guys. That's okay. I appreciate that. He's put this together, achieving a texture made by spray painting over fishnets, as you see that texturing on the outfit. Lay down a fishnet, spray paint it, that's what it is. He's been a fan of Star Wars since 1977. Not to say how old he is, but he wanted to create his own idea. Armor EVA with... That's all I'm going to say. That's it. All right, next we have Asgardian Deadpool, everybody. Mischievous Bard's Cosplay is bringing us the Merc with a Mouth from Deadpool's Art of War, put together with himself and his partner. Went ahead and did 3 weeks of construction, months of patterning, first time working with Warbler, and of course, just working on that Deadpool personality. So let's give it up for not just the silk blend skirting and everything else and 2 googly eyes, but Casey Crespin as Deadpool, Asgardian. All right. Oh my. You're getting ahead of the judge, and that's okay. All right. Christina is bringing us Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Azula's costume was hand patterned and tailored to fit. EVA foam, custom patterned and sculpted, painted and wired with red EL wire. We got some lights on there, don't we? We do? Can we bring the lights down a little bit? See what we can see? How we doing back there? There we go. Let's show off those lights for everyone to see. Thanks, Christina, for showing us Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. You see it right off to the side in the front there. Next we have Lisa Moreland as Defender of the Icelands. Her original concept design made entirely by her, Lisa Moreland, over 6 months. And what she would describe as an insane amount of hours. She and her companion creature were hand-built from scratch with a base constructed from wire, foam, plaster cloth, painted faux fur. It is finished with many thousands of pieces of crushed shells that you see decorated all over. All glued on, beads, glass, and acrylic to achieve this look. Let's give it up for Lisa Moreland as Defender of the Icelands. And now we have, fresh from Civil War, it's the Black Panther, everybody. This is Denzel Moore's first cosplay. With a 3D printed mask that actually comes apart, held together by magnets into 3 separate pieces. An incredible amount of work put into that mask, as well as the claws, although I believe earlier in the day he was declawed by a small child and had to correct the costume. So he's Black Panther with a soft paw for the kids, all right? Let's give it up for Denzel as the Black Panther. And we'll bring out in his wake Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's got all the accoutrement. It is made from everything. Things he's found from the side of Interstate 5 to old sports gear and Warbler. Much of the armor, real metal rubber. The only major sports gear was crafted from foam Warbler. He tried to work in as many references as possible, hidden throughout the costume. The costume itself took over a week and a half collectively after finding all the major fabric pieces. Let's give it up for Casey as he joins our others off the stage. Now we have Jeanette Dorenbos joining us as Sinon from Sword Art Online 2. She picked this character, strong and independent, hand-sewn as far as the costume goes with the ears and the tail. How do you think the sun's been working on that costume? Can we get those wings to glow in the dark? They're sparkling. We'll turn around when the judges are back up. All right, let's work on. Oh my goodness, guys. It's Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime by Ava Shearer, obviously from Transformers, built from a lot of mats, cardboard boxes, and junk. She learned how to wire LEDs and solder. Let's bring the lights down on Optimus here so we can get that wonderful effect. She wanted to give Optimus a post-apocalyptic look and a mecha influence, worked on for over 2 months straight. And I've actually we've seen the bike tires and other things are functioning pockets as well, which is great for walking the floor of the con. Behind her, of course, is Megatron chasing. Took about a month to make as well, probably 60-ish hours overall. This is by George Shubin, bringing us another great character from the Transformers. Give us a few poses with that hand cannon. And let's welcome to the stage next, Erin Cahill as Lady Loki. Loki's a shapeshifter, of course, and versatile, so she thought she'd give it her own spin. She wanted the costume as authentic as possible, used real fur, scale mail, and brass and leather scales for the headdress. She wanted it to look like Lady Loki might appear in real life, not just in a comic book, and the design took a ton of work with hand-created scale mail and shales. Let's give it up for her. One more round of applause, Lady Loki. All right, Ben Reeve is going to join us as Sheik. From Hyrule Warriors, give it up for Sheik by Ben Rule. This took Ben about 2 months to do. The knives designed in 3D and 3D printed by himself. He picked Sheik because, well, Sheik's a total badass. Other materials you see there: vinyl, thermoplastic, fabric, foam, and PVC. A lot of combination work here to put together this costume. Give it up for Ben as Sheik. Joining us now is Poison Ivy. Pansy Wilcox Fridley is bringing us her version of Poison Ivy. She wanted to be a character she doesn't get to be often, hidden alter ego, and so she put together the plants and the purse, glued and sewed and tacked all those leaves that you see with a lot of puffy paint on the nylons to work. This costume is the second part of her cosplay as a duo. She works with others and helps them do their costumes as well, so let's give it up for Pansy as the Poison Ivy. And now we have Gimli, son of Gloin, everyone. Ammon Henriksen. What you see is all-tooled real leather and armor made with copper rivets for strength. About 250 hours to make hand-braided leather. Yet again, as we've heard at this con many times, a first cosplay for Ammon. The boots are snowboarding boots, modified, covered with leather armor. He's wearing hockey pants to achieve that fat suit look. And lest we steal your weapons, which is probably a bad idea, we're also not going to try to toss him off stage. But let's give it up for Ammon as Gimli, son of Gloin, everyone. And next, as Venom Snake, Robert Robinson Miller. Let's give it up from Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Venom Snake. He picked the character due to the pieces he actually was looking around from historical events, put together some craft foam to top it off for the gauntlet and the hand rivets, and he was able to do a lot of things with it, including already doing some short films, which he likes to do on the side. So let's give it up for Robert as Venom Snake and thank him for his cosplay this evening. And now, just because it's a personal favorite, let's give it up for Travoltron. Carl Kanthak as Travoltron. I know you've always thought, why don't we have a mixture of Travolta, Tron, and Voltron? finally Carl has given us what we've always wanted. Let's bring the lights down. Bring those lights down on his work here. Are we lit up? There we go. Now, if only we had some dance moves. All right. As our final soldier descends, it's that time where we need to announce our finalists. The judges are looking at their books. They've been scrutinized during the day. Now we need to do callbacks. Which of our soldiers are going to join us back on stage? Our first one is going to be Rob DeWitt, Concept Sith Lord. Number 3, join us back on stage. All right, next, let's go ahead and have. He's still mad at me, but let's go ahead and get something else going on by bringing up Christina as Azula.
No, it's the Beyond Human.
And Lisa Moreland as Defender of the Icelands. Peter Fillo as Casey Jones. Ava Shearer as Optimus Prime. Erin Cahill as Lady Loki. And Ben Reeve as Sheik. And Gimli. All right, these are going to be our finalists for the evening. But before we send those contestants away, our judges will look at the finalists. Can we get Travoltron back on here just for a minute? We've got some swag to give away. Thanks to many of our vendors around the booths that give up some swag during the day. And since I'm not particularly someone that really likes to have Batman around, we're going to get rid of this Batman resin bust and award craziest costume to Travoltron this evening. Here you go, man. Thanks, man. All right. Now, obviously, there's a lot of good work here. Now, I don't know, Gimli, is your family out there somewhere?
They're competing tonight also. We're doing a whole family cosplay.
All right, so we're going to see a few more characters from Tolkien's universe. And maybe, while the judges are deliberating, we could get you all up for a group shot.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right, you guys want to see some of the groups pulled together while the judges go back for final deliberation? Yeah, we can do that. I kind of want to see a pose shot of Optimus Prime versus Megatron, honestly. All right, so Optimus, what is the gun made out of?
This is the secret's out. This is a broken Nerf gun and a bunch of cereal boxes, and that's the tip of a pen.
Awesome. Awesome. Creativity for the win. All right, Casey, what in your estimation is the most outlandish thing you acquired to put as part of this ensemble?
I have absolutely no idea.
What's the thing you're most proud of?
The entire thing.
Dang it. I'm particularly, is the license plate what you got on the side of I-5?
The license plate, this orange cone, some tires, real tires. Yeah.
I think he spends a lot of time on the side of I-5. Did people give you money while you were out picking it up on the stop? He wishes. Okay. Well, there's a small chance he wind up with some tonight. Who knows? So, all right. I think our judges have had some time to glance at our finalists and get a little more intel. Let's go ahead and thank them one more time. Send them back off here. All right. Now this is, really man, get over it. This is the time of the night when maybe for some of you, how many of you have been walking all day at the con? All right. You're starting to run out of steam. So we saved our wonderful, cute youth for you now to sort of get things back and perked up. So who wants to see our youth entries now? Let's do that. All right, first, we have Allison Logan as Toadette from Nintendo's Mario Brothers. Hand-sewn hat and beads made out of warbler foam, made from a silky style. Hand-strung the large beads on the wig. Go ahead, do the other little X and give us another little spin so everybody can see. Dress made from a vintage pattern. Let's give it up for Allison as Toadette from Super Mario. All right. Next we have Amelie as Princess Mononoke. Amelie Hauk. She constructed the mask with paper mache and napkin rings. Used all sorts of the knives are carved sticks with clay. The necklace is also clay and beads with braided rope that she braided herself. Let's give it up for Amelie as Princess Mononoke. Next we have Jacqueline Rance as Poison Ivy. Let's give it up for one of our DC superhero girls. Poison Ivy is her favorite villain. She informs me you should all watch your back. She's added Ivy to the waistband and to a dress they found. Added detail to the mask and arm Ivy as well. So let's give it up for our little Poison Ivy, Jacqueline Rance. And next, not least, of course, we have Grace Scott as Pearl from Steven Universe. The pearl on her forehead is made from latex and painted. She painted the white on the shoes, stole the pants from her sister, apparently, but don't hold that against her. Grace Scott as Pearl from Steven Universe. Thank you so much for showing off your cosplay this evening. And then we have Leanne Olds as Muppet from Undertale. Leanne put together this concept to execution piece. She worked on it for 8 months, repurposed materials, reshaped the wig, added accessories, challenged herself to work with a unique character. Obviously, with those arms made from scratch, she used melted plastic over clay to make those eyes with fake eyelashes attached that you see. So let's give it up for Leanne as Muppet from Undertale. Next we have Bella McCole as Grilby from Undertale. You might sense a running theme here. She made the coat and face mask all from scratch, custom armbands, and picked this unique character with her Lazy Susan spinning tray here. The gloves were drawn on as you used Sharpie and pens to achieve all the right little effects. Tinfoil and fabric, hot glue and cotton stuffed head to achieve that great character look that she's got for us this evening. Give it up for Bella as Grilby from Undertale. Now we have Kainoa. We have Kainoa as Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Obviously, he likes the show. Mom helped with the sewing. Used an old flagpole and some duct tape to achieve that wonderful staff. Give it up for Kainoa as Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Next we have Alexa. Alexa bringing us Xenon from Sword Art Online. The gun is made out of cardboard boxes with lots of the wig, of course, styled. She wanted to put together a character from a hand-patterned and hand-sewn outfit, so she's put together this amazing outfit for us. Sinon from Sword Art Online. Thank you, Alexa. And next, don't be shy. Of course, the Joker isn't shy. Come on out. This is Alex Anderson's 7th time cosplaying as the Joker, using vintage clothing and new pieces for this interpretation. He put the cane together and, of course, has a little handmade flower just to top things off. Just don't let him squirt it at you. Give it up for Alex as the Joker. Ellie Shearer's joining us as Ladybug from Miraculous Ladybug, made by her and her family. She wanted to show off this wonderful little hand-painted costume with the spots painted on by her, handcrafted belt and ball to go with it. She loves the character and wanted to custom tailor these gloves and the wig to achieve that perfect effect, so give it up for Ellie as Ladybug. And now, let's welcome another member of the Tolkien clan. Emmy Henriksen is Toriel, with her dress made from green micro suede, the hood vest and light green linen. Other things put together with a tooled leather belt as she worked with her dad to come off with this great costume. Foam-tipped arrows, of course, wood dowel and turkey feathers put together to achieve that effect. So give it up for Emmy as Toriel. Followed closely by Pippin, guard of the Citadel. Gavin Henriksen giving us a great costume straight from Lord of the Rings. With some help from Dad, he was able to put together this chainmail made from real aluminum, tooled leather sections, buckles. It took about 80 hours to design and construct. Sounds like a good family project, so give it up for Gavin as Pippin. Next we have a Soul Eater, Trinity Shubin. Here's a Soul Eater. She hand-sewed the headband and other things that you see, the shoes, and sharpied with black, and of course, hand-sewn patches. Let's give it up for Trinity one more time. And as Annika Shubin makes her way to the stage, let's go ahead and welcome her as yet another one of our Soul Eaters, Maba Albarn. She sewed the coat and the cuffs and the boot covers. Let's give it up for her cosplay for us this evening. And then Josephine is here to show us Princess Zelda from Zelda the video game and show. One of her favorite video games, and of course, who doesn't love the Triforce? Made the tiara with hot glue and spray paint, altered an old Halloween dress. Let's give it up for the wonderful concept she's put together, including taking some of the dress and putting that lace you see in her hair. So give it up for Josephine. All right, last we have Levi McDermott as the Predator. Levi put together this sculpted latex mask, suit made from cardboard foam, all custom painted, EVA foam, sculpted the mask out of clay and hand-painted aspects of it, painted the fake skin that he's wearing. There we go. School has started and the kids don't mess with him, so. Now is maybe the most difficult part of the evening. All these wonderful, young, aspiring contestants, and we have to narrow it down. And so now there's a question. Who will we narrow it down to? Who will take the stage again? Well, our first one to take the stage again will be Allison Logan as Toadette from Mario Brothers. Also, Princess Mononoke can join her. And then again, Leanne Olds as Muffet from Undertale won't be far behind. Let's go ahead and bring up Alexa as Sinon to the stage. Number 8. And next up, let's bring up Toriel, number 12. And of course, we wouldn't want to leave our fellow Tolkien character behind, Pippin from Lord of the Rings. Gavin, join us back on the stage. Last but not least, and hopefully not in the mood to hunt, the Predator. All right, now before any of those other little ones could just disappear, you guys stay right there sitting against the wall. We have had a fair amount of swag gifted to us. And you know, adults go home with a lot of stuff from the con, but we have a lot of swag to give away to our contestants. In fact, if we could get our airbender back up here. Where's Aang? Let's have Aang back up on stage here. Come on, man. We're going to award you. You might not have made the finalists cut, but you're going to go home with this as a token of our honorable mention, just thanking you for all the work that you've done. Maybe give us another pose. All right. Ms. Kyle's going to start handing out some swag to all of our other kid contestants over there. And we'll see if we can exhaust that, because we're going to make sure everybody gets to, all of our youth contestants get to take home a little something. And so we'll take care of that. All right. For the finalists, they've been waiting back there, like they're kids, waiting back there so long. They need more love. Let's have one big round before they go back and wait some more. All right. We'll determine the ultimate winner shortly. Let's go ahead and let you guys head back that way. So we'll let you lead. We won't get in your way. All right.
They're all so adorable.
I know, they're all so cute. My ovaries hurt.
All right. Well, it's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to some of our last. All right. This is where it gets weird. Some of these aren't even human proportion. So we're going to start things out with a little bit of help. We're going to head to Parts Unknown. Let's go ahead and start our Tinker category with Star-Lord. RJ, come out and show us Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. RJ Dove, the first of our Tinkers this evening. I think you've got some lights in there. We might need to bring it down for some of these contestants in particular. Awesome. RJ put this together, spray painted, Nerf guns, did all sorts of work to achieve that wonderful. He's even got some of that Chris Pratt moves, I see. Go ahead and give it up one more time for RJ as Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Followed by Swamp Thing. Now, you might think that there's a very tall man in there, but that is Jennifer Frisch, who's only 5'6", who's put together Swamp Thing for us. Can we see the lights on this, just as we look at our Tinkers? Let's see those lighted eyes. Stop, stop, stop. Let's bring the lights down on the Swamp Thing. And now, do you actually have your voice activation? It's not on right now? Nope. We got to actually hear that gravelly Swamp Thing voice earlier, so in light of, and even with the stuttering way of speaking too. So let's give it up for Jennifer as the Swamp Thing. Now our Tinker category is getting into full swing. It's obvious. Now we have, from Warhammer 40K, Eldar, Kevin Pichon. Kevin has done a couple of cosplays before. Some of you might remember he and his team bringing MODOK around to some conventions. He put lights in this new costume. As we see the lights come down, looks beautiful. Sculpted, and he sculpted this with no computer help. Sculpted everything, including the runes, although the sewing, of course, by wife Laura. So he's put together a whole ensemble and a group that we'll be seeing. So as they walk around, let's give it up for Kevin from Warhammer 40K as Eldar. Thank you for showing us the various shades. All right. Now, don't tell Bambi what happened to his mother. Just welcome Disney's Bambi by Colin Anderson. Colin has put this together from real antlers gathered without killing. Antlers that have fallen off. No harm was done to any animals. They used real antlers to achieve the effect. Recycled some fabric and spent some time learning how to walk again. Let's give it up for Colin Anderson as Disney's Bambi. Looks great. Lyndall Reed is up next. Her costume is a ginger, and she is here to suck your soul. She's, on the one hand, she says this character comes from myths, but also it seems like she thinks it's real. So we can all breathe a sigh of relief that Ginger is gone. All right. How's Cameron back there? You guys like some Resident Evil? Because the Axeman is here. Over 4 months of fabrication, handcrafted boots on wood risers, scissors created with foam. Working with his dad, Cameron has put together the Axeman from Resident Evil for us. Since he is not supernatural, he does need some wheeled help with that gigantic hammer. I think that's more than understandable. Hopefully he will not be hurting us as he crosses the stage either. Let's give it up one more time for Cameron as the Axeman. Next we have Aaron Livingston as Combustion Man from Avatar: The Last Airbender. His armor is constructed with EVA foam, individually molded pieces from birthday hats to achieve that lighted effect. Over 400 hours, including the blue LED lights to put together. Some help putting together is some teamwork to get the costume together. Let's give it up for Aaron as Combustion Man. And now, with some fair amount of tinkering, let's welcome
Master Shake. Let's go.
Jody Waseko would like to bring you Master Shake and Carl. It's frightening, but you can't look away. All right, do we want to do it? Carl, don't leave Shake behind. Oh my goodness. All right. Craft foam and hula hoops. What an inspired idea. Give it up for our next contestant. Let's welcome Arieline. Arieline is Chandra Nalar from Magic the Gathering. She comes to the center, we'll bring those lights down. You can see not just the lights, but the smoke built into that costume. Homemade smoke machines, e-cigarettes, pumps, yellow, orange, and red program lights will actually shift on that gauntlet. Materials made from Warbler and foam LED, self-programs, all handmade from scratch by Ariel, as well as a lot of programming work. Let's give it up for her hand-patterned costume one more time. Arieline. Chandra Nalar. And next we'll welcome Xander Hayner as the one-eyed, one-horned, say it, flying purple people eater. Her original character, inspired by the song, everything made by herself. She's always loved that annoying song and it got stuck in her head. So here we have, after 8 weeks, handcrafted helmet and hand-painted with all sorts of aluminum base underneath to keep its structure, all sorts of pieces put together by herself. Let's give it up one more time for Xander as the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. If you want to sing her off the stage, feel free. I knew at least one person would. All right, let's welcome Steampunk Star-Lord to the stage. Buck Potter from Guardians of the Galaxy bringing us Steam Lord, or Steampunk Star-Lord. He added panels to that coat that you see, including the grommets, modded the vest and the pants. And imagining what Peter Quill would look like if he was pulled through a time vortex into a post-apocalyptic timeline, he put together this ensemble for us. And the judges, for your fun, for walking the con, this was a cosplay he wanted to do for a while. Give it up for Buck as Steam Lord, Steampunk Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Not to be outdone by a fellow Guardian, we have Groot joining us this evening. What you're looking at is pipe insulation, thermal underwear, latex-covered tissue paper, EVA foam plates, held on with magnets, but I said all of those things and yet they are all Groot, as are we. There's actually a fan built into the head, blowing cool air down on him. You could probably also water him through that as well. All right. And now, 50 years in the making, we have our next contestant ready to join us on the stage. From Juliet Electric, we have the Starship Enterprise. Reimagined as a ballroom gown. Now what you are seeing is a lot of hand painting, 5-tier petticoat and 200 yards of fabric, ruffles hand sewn, and of course 3D details built in with all sorts. If we get the, bring those lights down so we can see why there's both seamstress work, but yet an amazing amount of tinkering that went into foam for the top layer, petticoats for the bottom layers, electronics throughout. Let's give it up for the USS Enterprise NCC 1701 and the 50th anniversary of Star Trek to top it all off. Thanks, Juliet Electric. Not to be outdone, Renee Klein is going to very quickly, there we go, Thresh from League of Legends. This costume took her 283 hours to construct, beginning in January. Renee's first male character, first time using LED lighting, constructed with fabric work for the cloak, foam, Wonderflex, lights, paper, clay, and paint. So a little bit of everything to pull together this ensemble for you. Let's give it up for Renee, bringing us Thresh from League of Legends. Another one of our awesome Tinkers in our Tinker category. Thank you so much for bringing your cosplay, along with all the others, this evening. All right, we have a few more as we wind down to the very end. Youth Predator wasn't enough. We decided an adult was necessary. Antonio Gonzalez bringing us the Predator. He put together his con ensemble over 2 months from EVA foam for the dreads. Second cosplay that Antonio has ever done. Roller derby helmet, his own, which he remodified to make the helmet base. And did we get those claws to extend yet? All right. They gave it up for the Predator and hope he's already claimed his skulls for the day. All right, who played Batman Arkham Knight? Because we have the Arkham Knight here. Russell Jeske bringing us the Arkham Knight from Arkham Knight video game. He printed it out, sanded, molded, cast in plastic and rubber. He and a friend worked on it. They both used it. He's been working on costumes for a long time, putting the lights in. It's been a great joint effort, but majority of work done. Spray in the back with metallic spray, all the armor designed by Russell. Give it up for Arkham Knight. All right. We are down to the last one, guys. Not bad for an evening of fun. I think that we have to get somebody into their big shoes. Here we go. All right. Alex Cobb from Warhammer 40K brings us the Space Wolf. Playing with some EVA foam, rubber cement, styrofoam, working on it all summer. Working from Pepakura files, molded into foam for the helmet. This took 3 months and 300 hours. Put together everything, including that great coyote skull, and of course the wonderful little tails, side and back. Let's give it up for Alex Cobb as the Space Wolf from Warhammer 40K. Oh my goodness. You know what? Why don't we just have you stay here? I know I typically have announced the finalists from sort of the front of the list back, but we're going to start from the back to the front because I don't want to make you go down those stairs and up again in like 2 seconds. So, we have our finalists to announce in this category. We'll bring them back up on stage. Jennifer as Swamp Thing. All right. Kevin, Warhammer 40K. Let's bring up Eldar. All right. Chandra Nalar. Let's go ahead and get Ariel Lean. Ariel, back up on stage. Xander Hayner. Let's get the... Hey guys, I think we need to do it all straight. It was a... People leader, one... Keep going. One-eyed, one-horn flying... There we go. You're like, I don't remember how the rest of it goes. All right. I think we all agree we are Groot. Groot, come on up and plant yourself next to Swamp Thing. If the Starship Enterprise can achieve warp speed back up here, that would be great. Jillian. Renee Klein. Thresh from League of Legends. And the Arkham Knight. Judges, if you need to get up and run around a little bit, feel free. Do we need to move some people downstage here? If you knock over Cap's shield, you actually start a civil war. All right. So these will be our finalists from which to choose this fine evening.
Jacket commissions.
The jacket itself was commissioned. Everything else they worked on as a team.
Anyways, I'm intimidated to talk to any of them. All right. There. Tell us something. Tell us the most interesting thing about making this.
Oh my God, the most interesting thing?
If this is a test. If it's not, I'll know.
I've only been working with electronics for less than a year.
That's pretty darn hard. All right. All right. Can we hear you through that?
Maybe.
What was your favorite thing about this to make?
The colors. I did it for the colors and the love of the art, the aesthetic of the actual artist.
Right on. Very nice. And very colorful too, undoubtedly. You're just all green. Can we hear you in there?
Not very well. Nope. Nope.
We heard that. You're a creature of the swamp. We don't expect any more. All right, I think our judges. All right.
I am Groot.
I realize. All right, we're going to let our judges think and deliberate. And we're going to thank you guys. We will need to begin to work you off of the stage. So let's go ahead and start moving that way. Let's give them all some encouragement as now we're down to some deliberation. We're actually going to let the judges take some time to retire if they'd like. You guys can head to the back. We'll send you back with Ms. Kyle. They're going to need to do some thinking. All right, now, don't go anywhere because we do have some more things to show you. Do we have a few groups to bring up? As I mentioned, runner-ups are all going to take home $100. Finalists are each taking home a couple $100. Best in show is just taking home a very thick pack of 20s. I don't even know what else in it. Now also, anybody seen the booth by Giraffe Soul? All right, Giraffe Soul, stop by their booth tomorrow. They've actually donated a gift certificate to our grand prize winner tonight. If you've been walking around the con and you see some of those wonderful creations, everything from shoes to journals sort of made beautifully with comic book pages, that's Giraffe Soul's booth. They also have a lot of other creative works that you can check out as well. So they've generously donated something to our winner this evening. That will actually go home with our best in show as well. They can pick up something at the booth. Also for our best in show, they're going to be taking home the throne, obviously, from Game of Thrones. And for some of our others, we might have a few gifts for our other winners as well. Some DC Comics bombshells. And who doesn't love tentacle kitties? All right. Throw it. This is people who dressed up, man. You think I'd be baited by just con people yelling for me to do things? You're right. That one's going to be saved. All right. Do we have some people to show? Do we have something to... Yes. Everything back there? Oh. We had groups. We had groupish people. They're here. All right. Let's get them going this way. I know some of you want to take some pictures. Let's bring the Mario troupe up to model us. Anybody? Is anybody out there actually wearing a costume and just for some reason didn't register to be in the costume? Who's in costume out there? All right. All right. Good to know. That might come in handy in a minute. Let's give it up for these guys. Everybody got some pictures? Sweet. Let's thank the Mario family. All right. Go ahead and come off. We have, all right. Now you got to see various members of the Lord of the Rings family, legitimately a family. So let's go ahead and get the family up on his stage so that you can see them. All right. Thanks, guys. Do we got another group to roll up here? All right, you guys stay there. We're just gonna, you guys stay there and give us some different poses because we got plenty of room on stage for some of our other groupings. Let's go ahead and get these guys up here. All right. Is one of you Matthew? Which one of you is Matthew? All right, Matthew. Can we hear you through that?
Maybe.
Maybe I should just tell everybody that you're the Northwestern Republic soldiers from Ironclad Industries. It looks like some impressive work. Can we get the lights down? Because I do see some tiny little accoutrements. There we go. All right. We've got a world clash going on here between you guys and Lord of the Rings, which could be fun. But we do have also a no fighting clause, so. Nice. Group shot. All right. Oh, hey. Well, there's room. Let's bring them right on up. Somebody's been up to some hocus pocus. Let's get you guys out here. All right, thanks, guys. All right, we're going to try a little experiment. Can we fill this stage with groups? Why don't we have you guys move down to the X there? Bring all you guys down a little bit more. Bring all you guys a little bit, because I think we have a Guardians group to bring up for us this evening. We all know that teams are better than flying it solo, unless maybe you're Han Solo, but we've got a team of Guardians for us this evening, as long as they can make the stairs. Let's fill the stage. Give it up for Groot and the Guardians of the Galaxy. All right. Well, we had just 100 costumes signed up, so I think we successfully pushed over about 120 different outfits for you guys to enjoy this evening. So let's give it up for all these guys, all the hard work, all the stage. Rocket, behave yourself. All right. Let's go ahead and let them exit for us. You can feel free to thank them as they go down off the stage. Well, thank you so much for displaying your group prowess. Our judges have deliberated fast this evening, so you were smart to stay. All right. They've been working hard, not hardly working. Our judges are ready to come back to the stage. All right, let's bring it out. I wouldn't want this job. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. So we have a few little surprises. Sometimes when judges are deliberating, things get really tough and really tight. There are so many intricacies, so many differences. You guys had a tough time, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we wanted to make sure they had a little something extra here and there, that they had a Judge's Choice Award. If maybe somebody isn't winner or runner-up, but they need some special recognition, we wanted to give them that choice. So we have a lot of fun as we walk back through our choices this evening. Let's go ahead and start. They've been waiting back there wondering a long time, biting whatever is on their hands. But let's bring out our first group of tailors. All right. So, they had to make the decision. I have to announce the decision. And if Ms. Kyle would select to grab our first runner-up pin. We have medals for folks to take home in addition to prizes, in addition to cash, in addition to other things. First, our runner-up. Next to the best in our Taylor 1 category. Give it up for Celestine Vax. And every category must have a winner. This year's Taylor 1 category goes to Belle. So let's thank everyone of our finalists and give them another round of applause. And thank you so much, all of you, but Belle can go ahead and start working your way off stage. Thank you so much for joining us this incredible evening. And then, Belle, we're going to have you follow after them, but let's go ahead and get you sequestered backstage to bring out as we figure out who is the best in show. All right. Now, as we bring out the Taylor 2 category, I'm supposed to ask, is there still a ginger in the room? Seriously. Is there still a ginger in the room? Is there our official ginger in the room? Did they successfully exit the building?
Walking from the back.
Are they all the way in the back? I need you to come forward. Let's go ahead and start moving our Taylor 2 category out. There it is. Everyone point and hiss. All right. Sometimes things are so random and so striking. All they need to be is a cardboard box to get all of you to cheer so wildly and loudly. So actually, one of our honorable mention Judge's Choice Award is going to the Soul Sucker this year. Here you go. All right. Now, before you scare anybody else, thank you very much. Our judges wanted to recognize that, but now we have the slightly more intimidating part. That is announcing our runner-up and our winner for our Taylor 2 category. Only one can be the winner, but somebody came extraordinarily close. And our runner-up this year goes to Megamind. Winner of the Taylor 2 category goes to Zadicus. All right, guys, thank you so much for all of your efforts and hard work. Before Donna leaves, before our Amazonian leaves, oh, she's leaving. We're going to bring her back up in just a second. All right. So let's let everybody else bring her back to the center and let everybody else head off there. Just one of those right there. Perfect. To the middle with you. You should be confused. All right. So, sometimes all the hard toiling effort backstage during preliminary judges time can pay off. You particularly impressed some of our preliminary judges, and so there is, from our daytime team, an honorable mention for you. And Whether she's your favorite person or not, a DC Comics bombshell, Wonder Woman. There you go. Like I said, lots of prizes, a few surprises. We have a few things to hand out. All right. Now we have our soldiers. Let's get our soldiers back up on stage. All right, it's that time. Who will be our runner-up? Who is impressive? Although, as Darth Vader might say, there's impressive, most impressive. Impressive, our runner-up tonight, is the Defender of the Iceland. Love your costume. Winner tonight goes to Azula. But Optimus Prime, you're actually going to be pulled out of the line as well, because there were a few talks. Also from our daytime team, not because they have any bias of a love of their childhood from Transformers, but an honorable mention also because we know you also helped a bit with the Megatron costume as well. So in lieu of awarding a duo, we're going to give you an honorable mention award, and thank you so much for being part of the costume contest as well. Thanks, Optimus. All right. Now let's go ahead and get up our next category. All right. I just got to do this. All right. As we love all your costumes so much, I'm so sad we had to pick a couple that only, it's just like if we could, at the same time, life is not all just achievement awards. We got to make a decision. Somebody's got to win. So I'm sorry. This is a time for growth. This is the next step into a larger world. This is maturing. Yes, mostly me. Okay. All right. Our runner-up. Oh, you're already prepared. Our runner-up youth competition is Toriel. See, learnings. The runner-up is like second place. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Teaching. It's a teachable moment. Hopefully we won't get any teachable moments from our winner, the Predator. All right. Now hang on here, hang on. We also have a Judge's Choice Award, someone who should not be overlooked for the amount of creativity and effort they put in. We have a Judge's Choice Award for Muffet, and not only that, I believe we also have a Tentacle Kitty, which seems like it should go nicely.
A tentacle kitty? Oh. She's got the arms?
Oh, yeah, that's adorable.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being part of the competition.
Oh, that's so good.
And we hope this is the first of many awesome cosplays to come. Now he comes down to our Tinkers. You guys enjoyed the Tinkers, right? Can we get some applause? Go ahead and have your move. There we go. To make room for Groot. All right. All right. Oh. Whew. I thought he wouldn't make it. All right, here we go. Now, before we say our runner-up and our winner, we do have a judge's choice. Because apparently, there were 3 judges, and it was a hard decision, but collectively, those 3 judges in the judge's choice can say, "We are Groot."
Oh, there you go.
You got it? You're on. You're on.
And in addition to that, since he'll be headed back to the Marvel Universe anyway and maybe teaming up in a future movie, maybe you could give Steve Rogers back his shield when you go there too. We're going to let you take that home. Why don't I put it back against the wall and you just make sure you don't leave without it. We'll give you another hand with that. So, all right, now down to business. We have a runner-up, and that runner-up for our Tinker category is Eldar from Warhammer.
Yep, these guys with the green helmets.
All right, and our finalist, our winner for the Tinker category, Chandra. All right, some amazing, amazing costumes and so many hard choices. Thank you guys so much for all the hard work you put in. It's coming down to the end. We're gonna space back out our winners in each category. And you guys have been a great audience. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much for all the enthusiasm, all the applause.
Not one, not two, but 3 Powerpuff Girls. We were in the club tossing back Johnny Bravos. I danced off my pants with a fly pepper and who kept massaging my hand. I took her to my land. I'm like the Fred Flint. She's Diana Prince. I could be the Bruce Wayne crusading these chicks. Now the 4th one, she looks like Daphne. The night's still young and my carpet's shaggy. Morgendorfer, she's so sarcastic, asking me, really, how is shoot if it's plastic? We could spend a day in Lawndale or set sail. How could I be the one in this fairy tale? Go. There were 6 in the bed when the Fraggle Girl said, roll over, roll over. There were 5
All right. Any of the judges have any final comments before we let the cat out of the bag? Maybe anything from Anamia?
Honestly, this was so hard to judge. You guys didn't make it easy for any of us. It was a lot of deliberation and yelling.
She almost
but
punched
no,
me.
That was going to happen. But no, you guys did an amazing job to all the winners and all the contestants. You guys did an amazing job and keep cosplaying.
All right.
This is a learning opportunity. Keep coming up.
All right, well, all of you are taking home a few things: cash, good feelings, medals. Sometimes you have categories that are even hard to distinguish. Which category should you be in? Where should you be? Some of you have something of everything in your costumes. But sometimes, and it's rare, when you actually figure out who's going to be the best in show, it's somebody who was in a category but combined everything else. So it's with surprise, but kind of maybe not, that best in show goes to Gimli of Glowing. That's it. We're going to send some prizes home with everybody else. We want to thank you guys for being a wonderful audience. We want to thank all of you for giving us such an incredible costumes to look at. Let's thank them one more time as we close out the Rose City 2016 Comic-Con contest. Thank you, judges. Thank you, contestants. Thank you, audience. You guys have a great night.